Can you accurately explain what surplus funds is? Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my page, Money Making Juggernaut. I'm your host, Eric Richardson, the #1 educator in the asset recovery business. Today, we are going to talk about the most simplest aspect of this business, explaining what surplus funds is. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is there's a lot of people who get into this industry and they say, hey, this is intriguing. There's money left over after a foreclosure. I want to do this business. But guess what? When you get a client on the other side of that phone and they say, well, what is surplus funds? If you cannot accurately explain with a quick delivery and simplicity, you will not close deals. So today, I'm gonna teach you guys exactly how you should answer that question. Now, when it comes down to this, we need to break it down in the most simple form. What are surplus funds? In my opinion, you should be able to answer this in about 1 to 2 sentences. If you are prolonging the answer and you're just not delivering with confidence and you end up confusing yourself, the client is definitely not going to trust you or even think that this is legitimate. So what you should do is break it down in the most simple terms possible. Surplus funds are the remaining profit after the sale. That should always be your starter. The remaining profit after the sale. Super simple. We can all say that. Say it with me now. The remaining profit after the sale. And I'm serious, guys. If you can deliver that, the clients can now start to understand. Now, what you do after that is accurately explain what happened. And this is going to depend on the type of foreclosure. Was this a tax sale or was it a mortgage foreclosure? Let's say, for example, it was a tax sale. You can tell them, I see here that you owed $15,000 in taxes. Now, since your property had value, it actually sold at the auction for $65,000. So the difference between the taxes that you owed and what it sold for leaves us a remaining profit that you're entitled to. This remaining profit is known as surplus funds. I always preach you have to give the right information in the right order at the right time. So if somebody's, asking about surplus funds, we're not going to say, hey, you're owed $100,000, and then you just go in and start confusing them. First, break it down. Simple. The remaining profit after a foreclosure. Then we break down what happened. Let's say, for example, it's a mortgage. Well, I see here you had a final judgment of $150,000. Well, since your property had value, it sold for $220,000. So we're working with about a $70,000 difference that's legally entitled to you. I'd love to send you over some information. This is going to include the sale results so you can see that the property sold for a higher amount. I'll send over the state statute so you can see that this is actually legal. And then I'll send over my company's contact information so you can see exactly how we can help you at no upfront cost. See how this is delivering with speed, simplicity, and confidence. Now, if somebody asks you, well, what are surplus funds? And you say, oh, well, for example, let's say you owe $10,000 on the property and investors are going to try to buy the property at the auction. And when it sells at the auction, it's going to sell for X amount of dollars more than that. So then this money's left over, but then the county doesn't do a good job explaining. So they never really notify you. So this money's just sitting with the court. So then that's where we step in. That's too much. That's prolonged. It's not simple. It's not quick. It's not delivering with confidence. And also, it's not specific. If somebody asks about surplus funds, you should give them specific data pertaining to them. You shouldn't give them examples. Oh, well, let's say, for example, you owe $10,000 and it sold for $100,000. No, give them the exact numbers. I see here that you owed X amount of dollars. Since your property had value, it sold for this much. So the difference is legally entitled to you. And the better that you guys get at explaining what surplus funds is, the more deals you'll close. I can tell you so many times that I've dealt with a customer and I've asked them, has anybody contacted you about surplus funds? And they say, well, there's these companies calling me, but I don't really know what's going on. So I take the time to accurately explain and make sure that they understand. If the client doesn't understand, they're not going to move forward. So for starters, you need to understand. You need to know what surplus funds is. So go out there, deliver with confidence, deliver with quickness and simplicity. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're looking to learn from somebody who's been doing this business since 2018, go ahead and check the link in the description. Use the code TAKEACTION, all one word. You receive $100 off, and I'm looking forward to helping you out.